let's kill that. Those. Okay, there we go. Now we got the right. Hey, how's it going? There we go. Quick, I need this so I can see the chat easier. There we go. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm doing all right. I've been having some slight technical issues with my computer and stuff, but we're making it through. So, not the end of the world. It's still working, so I guess that's where we're at. All right, so this is where we left off last time. Welcome. So I had an issue trying to save this file because I don't know what's going on. All right. Hopefully you get back here before it all ends. Yeah, so I had an issue where I couldn't save the file, which was fun. So what I did, get kind of around that because I could export things, I just exported each layer individually and brought it back in. So that was super cool. So now I just have to set this layer to right settings here. But what I did figure out is for some reason the program is not saving in the native file format, but it will save in a Photoshop file format. So that's what I have to do, I guess. Save it in a Photoshop file. And we're on the color pencil. I don't want the color pencil. There we go. But yeah, so we're here now, doing this, making progress. Yeah, the dragon looks awesome. I like the dragon. I think she looks nice. We're just kind of going through and doing more of the shading. That's what we were working on last time. I don't need the background right now. There. There we go. Okay, so we got rid of all of the junk I don't want. Hey, welcome. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think she's looking good too. Something like that. Shadow in here. Actually, that should be that little section there colored. Jump over to black color real quick. get that. Because that would be check out matters and upload. See, I looked at the last thing I watched was the like a redrawing of an older drawing. Is that the last one you were on? If not, I'll have to check it out. I haven't really finished that one. I started watching it though. That was okay. You're talking about then I'm not sure. Oh, the speed paint. No, I have not watched that yet. I will have to check that out. I like to check out the videos. Sure that stuff all was at one point had masks and stuff. I don't remember if I did or not, but I think I did. But they do not have masks on the layers now. Okay. Alright, I will check that out. Yeah, the smoker, that was your speed paint. It was really awesome. It looked cool. Shadow. That's not terrible. Maybe I'll turn off the side more. That's cool. Jake. Alright. Cool. Yeah, it looked really good. He's the guy who made the clones. Yeah, Milton. I remember Milton. That's cool. This here, because light is weird, man. Light is real weird. Well, I guess technically, like, surfaces are weird. Light is pretty straightforward. Surfaces can be really weird. Like, oh. It's kind of complicated. Like in folds and stuff. It's weird. It's real weird. Hello. JHS Crafts. Welcome. Welcome to my stream. Hit this with shadow here. Bring this a little bit stronger. Hit that like that. Yes, welcome. Working my way through a dragon drawing that I sketched out. There we go. See there, full thing. She doesn't have a name yet, because I just sketched it randomly on my own at the end of like my 2 streams ago. I don't know. But she's looking good. I'm digging it. Just go ahead and bring that shadow down out here. I really should set a mask up though, at least for the shadow layer. So what I'm gonna do, up to the line art, and got my M. That should be it, but whatever. Yeah, refer to all layers, I guess. Hide my palette layer there. Oh, I was on the wrong anyway, so when I'm showing up. Okay, so that should be good. We'll go down here and we do the layer mask. This is where I always catch myself. Mask outside selection. Oh. I always choose the wrong one first, so mask selection. There we go. Now our... Oh! Alright. That's not half bad. I could do that. I like that name. So we'll just put, so I remember, not that layer, the palette. So I'll write that. Yeah, I like that. We'll leave that on the palette layer so I don't forget. Thank you for that. Very helpful. Let's see. Probably put a little bit shadow there. We can kind of hit some of the bumps like that. I am using Clip Studio Paint, which is a great program. I love it. Unfortunately, I'm having some issues regarding my computer right now. I've had to deal with some stuff. So the program isn't working perfectly currently, and I'm not sure why, but on my other computer that I use for art, it works wonderfully. It worked wonderfully before my computer had my issues. But it's a really, really cool program, and it gives you a lot of tools, which is really, really cool. And I still haven't even used anywhere near all of the like capabilities of the program. Like, it's insane. Okay, so I'm not sure how I want to shade the wing. Any tips for drawing creatures? I am actually not great at drawing creatures. But what I would do, what I would suggest is using references. like find pictures, like if you're wanting to draw a dragon, find pictures of drawings of dragons where you like certain aspects, like you like the face on a dragon, the horns on one, the stuff like that. Maybe one for the actual pose you like, and then also look at lizards and or like creatures with horns like goats, sheep, rams, elk, things that have different types of horns to kind of see like what you like, what you don't, for the creature. For this, I did it entirely from imagination, which is unusual for me. Like I said, I normally like find pictures and use those to kind of go off of. And yeah, so, and depending on what you want your dragon to look like, there's lots of different dragons. I follow someone on Instagram. I think it's just, I think their name is Dragon Story, if I remember correctly. Oops. I don't remember. It's hard to, if you don't have the exact thing down. But they post all kinds of dragons and lore from their imagination, and it's wonderful. And they do all kinds of different like shapes for their dragon. Like they're not all thin and your typical dragon. Some of them are large, wide heads and stuff. It's really cool. But yeah, references are a very helpful thing when you're drawing something, especially if it's not something you draw regularly. Yeah, I wish I could remember the name of the thing. Something like Dragon Story, but I don't recall the exact. Oops. Now I have to grab that color again. For some reason, it changes colors on me if I switch to my other screen. I need to figure out what button that actually is. But that's like dragon specifically. That's one thing I do is I kind of follow an artist who does a lot of dragons. But creatures in general, yeah, I would say find like drawings and paintings of the creature you want, and you like parts of, not to copy them exactly, but to use them as a reference point. And then also to find pictures of creatures, like actual animals that have parts of what you want your creature to have. So pulling like the horns from a ram to put on a creature that has the head shape, at least, of like say a frill lizard. Like say you're gonna do a frill lizard head situation, ram horns, and then also you'll have that frill. Would be kind of cool. And you can like, maybe you want to use like a peacock coloring and let's see, peacock coloring and like pattern, there we go, for the frill pattern. Like when it pops out, you get like a very peacock like coloring and stuff. These are things that you should kind of consider when you're creating creature. And when it really comes down to it, it's whatever you want as a creator. And if other people don't agree, that's their opinion. Yeah, I don't know. It's for me, if you're making something and you want to do it a certain way, even if I don't agree, that's not my place to like tell you, oh, that's dumb. Um, that's messed up, and I'm never gonna do that to someone personally. There are people out there who will do that, and I don't agree at all with being a jerk for no reason. Like, for all I know, you have a really good and valid reason for doing something a certain way, and who am I to tell you that's not the right way to do it? Like, that's one of the things I don't always love about like tutorial, like those little tutorial drawing tutorial things that pop up where it's like, don't do that, do this with the X and the check mark. Like, no, that's not, it's not cut and dry. Everyone, like, people are at different points in their creative journey, so maybe they aren't able to visualize it the way that you is correct according to your tutorial, and maybe they're doing it the incorrect way. And that's absolutely fine, because not everyone is going to be at the exact same place. Not everyone wants to be in the exact same place. So art is not cut and dry, hard and fast, like these are the rules. I mean, there are people who think that, and they're wrong. And that's about the only time I will like actually straight up disagree with people, is like if they're being one of those like, oh, this is the only way to do it, but there's a million ways to do it and you're wrong. So I don't know. Hopefully that answers your question. Got a little bit carried away on the little bit of a tangent, I guess, on that, but as far as my channel and my stream is concerned, this is a safe place for artists and people who want to enjoy creating things. So everyone is welcome here. Everyone is welcome to their opinion. Everyone is, yeah. Okay, so let's hit this tail up. But yeah, as far as, like I said, drawing creatures, I would say references are your friend. And I don't really know why, because back in the day, when DeviantArt was really, really big and I was in high school, it was for some reason frowned upon to use reference. Like, the big thing was, oh, I did this with no reference whatsoever, blah 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 blah. And like, well, good for you, I guess, but you could have made it better if you actually did use reference. So why not use reference? But yeah, and that's something that I took me a while to learn, that references are not necessary, like, not a bad thing. Like, even though all these people were treating it like a bad thing, it's not. And it took me longer than I would have liked to learn that references are like a good thing, honestly speaking. So that's a bummer. But I did learn it, and I want other people to know, like, it's totally fine. You can use references. References are not the enemy. They're your friend, and they will help you a lot. I'm gonna bring this shadow all the way there. And we're just gonna push it that way a little bit. That. Yeah, that's not too bad. But yeah, so that's my best advice on like drawing creatures, people. Like I always try to find at least a pose reference, or like all my best art. I'm gonna tell you right now. There's a pose that I pulled from a reference because I am not great at coming up with pose stuff on my own. Some of it's alright, but it's not nearly as good as when I actually use reference. And that's just a cold hard fact. So, I mean, this, like I said, I did this entirely just from my imagination. That was, yeah. So, this is like the one time where it actually kind of came out nice without using a reference. I don't know. But, just for your guys' information, that I use references. And I think they are important. At least for me. Not everyone needs them. And that's just the truth. Not everyone needs them, not everyone wants to use them. That's totally fine, like I said. You can do your art however you please. I'm not here to tell you one way or the other. I'm just telling you, for me, especially, references are my friend. Actually, that way. Yeah. That makes a little more sense, I think. Slightly. So yeah, I don't know. This is gonna be like a fur texture. I'm going to figure that out. So again, I hope that kind of answers your question. I know I got a little off topic-y, a little crazy, maybe, but hopefully that helps answer your question still. Just connect it. Which that was a little small. Trying to shrink my a bit. Get a little bit more roll. Put that back. Go. A little bit better. All right. Okay, so we've got this kind of basic setup going now. I want to make it bigger. Second. So I think, I don't know, something kind of like that. Kind of gives the illusion of a little bit of fur. I don't know. Somewhat, at least. So, and here comes the really fun part. I'll still need the thinner brush for this. It's kind of bringing that shadow across that ridge that exists on these belly scale type part. And yes, I'm going to go through and kind of hit each of these, because sometimes that's what you gotta do. I mean, no one has to do it. That's the way I like to do it, because I know in my mind it's like a belly scale. It's gonna kind of come to a concave, yeah, concave little meeting area. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of shadow. Even though they're all kind of wild and everywhere, I'm still gonna try and do that. So see, that's kind of where that transition and the light comes in. So here, let's hit that. We're gonna bend it a little, because again, we'll do that like so. So we're gonna do it like that. Because like I said, this is where that transition from one side to the other is happening. So all of this is going to be in shadow. I mean, it's still the same side, but it's a transition in where how far the shadows are going to be kind of pulled out and all that. So it's a little interesting. Something like that. And I mean, if I really wanted to, I could kind of pull that curve down into there, but I don't think it's necessary for that. It doesn't need to go that far. Yeah. Again, I'm going to transition from bottom to the top for that shadow on this side. All right. I mean, doesn't look too bad. Not the worst. Nothing too crazy. Kind of pull that there a little bit. Yeah. Same look. Something like that. And then for this up here, we're going to bring that across a little bit. Dog was chasing something in her sleep. She occasionally does. I don't know if I just want to kind of fill this a little bit, maybe. Check. Actually, let's do it. Alright, do this. Yeah. Something a little bit more like that. So you don't want to get tied down to like one way of doing something. Don't be afraid to change up stuff at any point. These lines that are coming out, I'm gonna have to go in and kind of erase those back a little bit. Ask her if she caught it. Yeah. I don't think she ever catches it. But there she goes again. Okay. So now I'm just kind of going through and cleaning some of the rougher parts of this up. Not that it needs it too much. I'm fine with the majority of this stuff. Kind of clean up a little bit here and there. A little bit there. Like I missed a little bit on. Check real quick. There. Make sure I got all the little bits and pieces at the edges of things. Sometimes it doesn't get it all. Especially if you're using like the paint bucket to get it, like the fill bucket, it doesn't always work perfectly. So. It happens. Alright, so got the majority of this situation kind of done. Smidge. There we go. Some of the bits where I went a little too far with the shadow, it crosses the line just a smidge and whatnot. Those are never fun. Shadow from the actual wing there. Let's pull that down. Here, that transition should be there. Okay. All right. Hello. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Welcome back. All right. Hey. Okay. Need to get down this spot there. There we go. Okay, so I think for the most part, got this kind of set. Correct. Oops. Like, it's definitely not perfect, but it's also not that big of a deal. That certain parts are not great. Farther away from the focal point is not that much of an important thing. I'm good. Glad you're doing well as well. Okay, let's see. Kind of bring a little bit more depth to the mouth here. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I don't ever really strive for perfect on my work anymore. I did that for a long time. But so long as it's better than what I've done previously and stuff like that, I'm pretty happy. I used to have real trouble with doing any art because I was always trying to finish and make something perfect. It does not go well. But now she's done with her nap. She's going to make sure no one comes in and kills me. Dogs are interesting creatures. So now my motto is done is better than perfect. And it's true. I'd rather have something than never finish because it's not where I want it to be. So that's where I sit these days. Kinds of. So let's see, this is kind of an interesting way. The pumping. Push it like that. You missed it. She was chasing something in her sleep and barking a little bit earlier, which is what she does a lot. She goes to sleep. Okay. Well, I think that's pretty solid as far as that goes. Okay. And kind of like that. All right. Okay. All right, there we go. All right, I'm gonna call that shading pretty much good to go. So now I can get some highlight stuff. So let's duplicate layer, and then we'll just delete. And then we're going to change it from multiply and shadow to try overlay. And you know what? We're going to use that color. See if that. Okay. Not terrible. Yeah, okay, that'll work. So then again, I can just delete. Since I was testing it, it does seem to work on the lighter colors and the darker ones pretty well. So now kind of hit some of the edges of some of these things. Oh. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. And maybe that's not too bad. Little flavor there. I might adjust the opacity for the highlight stuff. Let's see how it ends up. Oh, okay. Yeah, not too bad. Hit kind of, there we go. All right, so we got that. Oops, hit this spot over here. I'm kind of curious as to what it'll look like when I get the when I change the opacity. Right now it's looking a little, it looks all right, but it's not great on the color. I forget the color. Why do I always forget that? Not turquoise. It's the anyway. The color it is. Looks a little bluish, weird, I think. Oh. Oh. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, thank you. Let's do large little section. Back of the there. So I think, and then we're gonna have this section here, arm, well, the wing arm, one of those. Hard to explain dragon anatomy sometimes. It's a wing arm, but it also has an arm. You know, like dragons do. It also depends on the kind of dragon you're making and all that fun stuff. Dragons are very interesting creatures because there's a lot of different varieties of dragon, actually. Okay. I'll have to look at the profile. I can't see it from my chat and stuff, but I'll have to look at that. I'm sorry you got dizzy. See you in a little bit, I guess. Alright, so we're gonna switch it to this side here. So hold on, I'm gonna check the and guess a channel. Hopefully this doesn't. I mean, it's going to. Hold on 1 second. Okay, there we go. Muted. Oh, very nice. That's cool. That's a neat profile picture. All right. Yeah. Very cool. I'm gonna hit that. So I think when I raise the opacity a little bit on this, it might help a smidge because it's a little bluish on the scales and on the underbelly and stuff. It's a little too close. Oh, nice. Alright, see, actually, and if anyone would like to join my Discord, copy. Let us back over this way, minimize. I do have a Discord, and you can share your art, see my art updates, so like progress. If you missed a stream or something, you can see what I got up to during the stream. You can see the art there, whatnot. So yeah, if anyone wants to join that, feel free. Well, yeah, it happens. Yeah, not everyone does. I get that. All right, so let's see. Got that. Yeah. Yeah. Smudge here. Oh. There you go. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Very kind of you. All right. Let's see. So, yeah, let's adjust the opacity on the overlay here, and we're also going to test out some other stuff. So let's go 100%. 100%. Not too bad. The other thing I can do, so let's change, let's look at soft light. So soft light's a little bit more realistic. It doesn't have that super blue tint. Hard light is always weird. So that one's a little bit more like if the light is white kind of situation. Vivid again hits that blue color, linear, white, and so it kind of just depends. That one dulls it a little bit. It's always hard to kind of figure out exactly which one you want. Color. That one literally just kind of puts that color on top. If it's lighter than what's there. Okay. Yep. Trace. Okay, and then it just gets weird. Lighten. We started with screen. I think no, we started with overlay. So color dog. So really, it's all kind of depends on what you like the look of, honestly. Hard light's probably the best one, I think, right now. Okay, glad you feel better. That's good. Never fun when you don't feel well. All right, so we got the highlights in there, got shadows. We're pretty well good on the actual dragon. The one thing I would like to kind of get to, well, is the scales. But the scales, actually, I would like to not be black lined, which is always fun. So what I'll have to do here, separate the scales from the rest of this. Let's alt. Get off a little bit there. So this is going to take a second, but we'll get there. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. So I'm gonna deal with the egg scales separately. I'm gonna start with the dragon, the actual dragon scales here. Got a little fadeaway on that one. Oh, let's alt. Back up. There we go. Again. Oops. Okay. Okay. So this isn't taking too long. Not gonna be as fast as if I had done it correctly or the way I'd wanted to originally. Just a little bit more. Trying to figure out how close you can get is not always fun. Alright, so working our way up. So essentially what I'm going to do is make it a darker version of the teal. That's the color I was trying to remember earlier. Just grab them there. Okay. Cool. Not entirely sure what that reference is. I don't. These stars. All right. Not entirely sure what's happening, but okay. All right, so we got everything's all those selected. So just bloop, make them disappear. Now it's a smooth dragon. Okay, and then we're just gonna bring it back in. Whoops, that is too many. So that one. Okay, now going to we're actually going to drop the scales underneath the highlights and yeah, underneath the highlights and stuff. We're going to change the color of them by doing some fun stuff. What I can do is actually I could probably just, oops, not that, not what I meant. Let's do one. And I can drop the opacity. Yeah, so that's an easier way to do it. Because otherwise I'm gonna have to select them all and then paint over them. So I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna multiply it and drop the opacity. So that helps a little bit, or maybe it's color burn? No. I'm gonna check a few different options real quick. And none of this is good. Brightness might be the closest option. I think that'll work. I'm still gonna be on. All right. My favorite. Oh wow! Wow, that's. Oh, jeez, I'm being featured on the. Wow. The homepage for DLive. That's pretty insane. My favorite movie. That's a tough one. I have quite a few movies that I really enjoy. My go-tos honestly are Grind and Snatch would probably be my like top 2 movies if you're talking to me. Here we go. Okay, we got. I think that's pretty well close to where. Okay, pop that back in, drop that down here, same with the other one. And now we're going to do the same thing we did the other one. Drop it to about 50% and hit the brightness. Okay. So problem with that on this, that's not going to really do what I want it to. So, multiply. If I drop it, yeah, see, it's not going to do what I want. So what I'm going to do instead for this is I'm going to do the painting of the stuff. And I only want it to refer to this layer. I'm going to hit it. Okay, and then we're going to edit it. I think that's really the only closed off bit. Yeah, okay, we're good. Yeah. Okay, so then we're going to select the inverse of that. We're going to, let's try grabbing like that color. Let's see. Yeah, I think that color will work. So let's do that color for this. Match mama here. Color on the scales. And let's see. I might move these scales above. All right, so that's not too bad. We ended up with a little bit left over, some parts here, but easy little fixes. Base some of it, let over it. Okay. So yeah, now we've got that. So let's look at, I pulled this up over the top. But I think that looks a little bit nicer. Good. Here, like so. There we go. Hi, Dan the Man. Dan, welcome. So right now I'm going through and kind of adjusting a couple things on my dragon here. So the scales were all black line, like the outline, but I don't like having scales and stuff on the inside like that. So I just grabbed them, changed them up a little bit. And I had this under, I don't like how that looks, so I brought it back up on top. So what I'm gonna do, kind of adjust all that. And that's not the right color. I am using Clip Studio Paint, which is a fantastic program. Highly recommend it. Really, really nice. Looks like I got a little carried away on parts of this, but didn't go back and clean it up enough. All right. Spot it. And, all right, I think that's a little bit better. Okay, so I also need to get back down on the shadow layer here and hit some little spots that were, yeah, like right there. And, oh, that is some other color entirely. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, Clip Studio Paint. Formerly Manga Studio, I think is what it was. But it has a lot of nice tools. It's a little bit more friendly than Photoshop, in my opinion. Photoshop is fine. I've used Photoshop as well, but I think that Clip Studio is definitely a better art program than Photoshop. Okay, I think we're good. So now what I need to do is go through and kind of hit the highlights and stuff on the actual scales. Yes, it is. So for Windows and Mac, like the actual computer version is not too bad. There's two versions. There's the Pro and EX. They're not super expensive, and they regularly do like half off sales. So the EX version is like $100, and the Pro version is about $50. But when they go on a half off sale, it's $50 and like $25 for the program, and you get 2 licenses, like a 2 machine license, which is really nice because I have it on my laptop and I have it on my desktop. Yeah, so it's not really expensive, especially if you wait for the half off sale. And there's a lot of perks to the program, like have these really cool, like they have effects that you got, like stuff, natural. None of this looks right for some reason. Bubble. So I don't know. There's something up with my computer, and it's caused some issues. So right now you're not seeing what you would normally be seeing in these, but they have a lot of nice effects and stuff. I mean, this isn't terrible, but so like that doesn't look quite right. Like I said, my computer's having some issues. My laptop looks a little different because it's actually got all the stuff correct. But anyway, great program, worth every penny. And like I said, it does go on sale. Like they have a summer sale, and I think probably a few other ones. But yeah, you can get it for half off, and it's definitely worth it for half off. It's worth it not half off, I think, but I definitely bought it half off because I don't have a whole lot of money. But I also have used Sketchbook Pro, which is free and also a good program. But one really nice thing about this one is I can do like raster layers, which are normal, but I could also do vector, which is kind of cool. So I can bust out like line there and line there. And if I don't want that crossover, boom, boom, really quickly, we get rid of that extra stuff, which is really cool. And then you could always rasterize that layer later as well. So it's neat, I think. Anyway, little things like that are kind of neat about that program. Anyway, so yes, I need to do highlights and stuff now. Let's actually hit the shadows first. So I'm going to yeah, so that's real quick. Okay. All right, so we got those labeled correctly. Let me know. Okay, and then whatever. They don't need to be spelled correctly. Okay, so then I'll just duplicate layer, call it scales, highlight, and then duplicate that layer, call it scales, shadow. So then delete and delete. Okay. So now let's see. Got the shadow set up. So go to the shadows and hit these scales real quick here. Okay, I don't know why I'm gonna hit that. Gonna hit these. So maybe I want look real quickly. All the scales. it's still gonna have it. Yeah. Okay. So this doesn't really matter. Scales are above or below this right now. Yeah. Doesn't. I'm just gonna drop it below. Oops. Why did it? Oh. All right. So yes, it's a paid program, but it's a really nice program. And it's not as expensive as some programs out there. So like I said, I would say it's a worthwhile investment if you're an artist. That's simply my opinion. And if you're using a tablet, they don't have like a outright license for that. You have to do the like subscription. They have a subscription one for that for tablets, which is one of the reasons I did not get an iPad for my like traveling art situation. I decided to go with a Surface Book because I could use the full-on. All right, got slime all over your hand. Use the full-on version because it's technically a laptop, so that's why I decided on that instead of a iPad, because I was strongly considering getting an iPad, but after I bought this program, I figured I should just kind of try and get the best use out of it instead of working on like Procreate or something else and then transferring them between the programs. It's a whole thing. So things to think about when you're a digital artist. Good question. So someone actually named it. I'm not sure if the pronunciation is correct, but Shivara is what I assume that to be reading it. So that's what we ended up with, Shivara. So the dragon was given a name by a viewer today. It's fun. Fun. Alright, so now, since I've done all the shadows on these, I can go in and kind of back excess junk I don't need. Alright. This is where it always gets in. Trying to kind of carve back stuff I don't want. Always a fun bit. Because you also have to kind of think about where your light's coming from, all that fun stuff. And I generally, in my work, have my light coming from the top right corner. Yeah, I thought it was a really good name. I thought it fit, so that's what we're rolling with. I always have a hard time kind of naming things, so I try to. I either have to look for a long time to kind of figure it out, or like hopefully someone else will do it for me. And this time, someone did it for me. It's nice. All right. Again, top right. See ya. Hope you have a good day. Thanks for stopping in again. Always a pleasure. So yeah, I've got top right, generally where my light comes from, so it's always kind of an interesting... I don't know where that shadow is. But that's not... Oh, that's part of the actual scale. Oops. Not down like that then. And then are your marks? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Welcome back, Crafts, JHS Crafts. I don't know if that's how you want to be referred to, or just Crafts or what, but welcome back. Alright, so we'll kind of hit that. Alright. So again, I brought this up before, the farther you get away from the focal point, the face and such, the less strict you have to be with like how nice everything looks. Like your shadows and all that don't need to be as focused on looking perfect and whatnot, so I appreciate that. Hopefully someday, that'd be really cool. So I'm gonna do a little bit of cleanup on these, but it's not gonna be as extensive as it would be closer to the face and the egg and stuff. So again, just kind of a preference. You are one of those people who likes detail down to the very last part. That's totally fine. Yeah, thank you, I appreciate that. I hope so. And it's not to say I'm not going to put effort into like the parts that are farther away. I just put less emphasis on being like clean and crisp and all that, because it's not going to be focused on nearly as much as other parts. So these are things to keep in mind when you're working on your artwork. Is someone really going to notice that you put like a perfectly drawn little person in the car that's like in the bottom right hand corner of your artwork? No, like almost no one is going to notice that. Does that mean you shouldn't do it? Absolutely not. If that is what you would prefer to be there, that is entirely up to you and good on you. I don't have the patience for something that detailed, that far off to the corner, that 96% of people aren't going to pay attention to. That's my opinion. But I love seeing that stuff. It's incredible. I follow quite a few artists who put like detailed down to the last little inch of their work, and it's amazing to see. And I appreciate it. But I also know that most people don't, because they just don't know. So it's just one of those things where like, how much time are you going to put into something that, like I said, 90% of people aren't going to notice? And if you want to do it, again, I'm not here to stop you. I'm just here to tell you, it is what it is. Good question. I'm not exactly the most savvy on all of that stuff. So let's see. Let me see. I don't know why. Why is there no... There. You are now a moderator. And all you had to do was ask. I don't know. There you go. I'm not super up to date on all of this kind of stuff, so if you want to help me, I am here for you. I appreciate that greatly. So yeah, I don't know where I was kind of talking in circles about detail and whatnot. Yeah, hold on. You can also bloop. There you go. So you should now have moderator, right? Yes. As well. Okay. Thanks for joining me again. I appreciate you guys hopping in, seeing what's up. Always a pleasure to have new people. I really enjoy chatting with you guys. And I hope you come back. So, thanks again. I stream Mondays and Thursdays, generally speaking. Say that hesitantly these days just because of the computer issues I've had recently, but hopefully we stick to schedule and all that fun stuff. And it's some okay, so we did all the regular scale stuff. Check. Yeah. Okay, here we go. And those are okay, so what I want to do that is, no, I don't need to bring it up. Well, no, I do. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it up above where that highlight is currently, because it's right now below that highlight layer, and that is going to cause me issues. Let's bring it up above it. Oh, we're in the wrong color. That's fun. Did not know. I don't know when that happened. It's fine because it's a different layer. I don't care. It's fine. All right, so we got shadows kind of thrown down on this. Let's drag this up. Okay. Now, got that. All right. We are going through these. Kind of pushing these shadows kind of where they should be, essentially. All right, that's not too bad. That one doesn't. All right, so that's not too bad for those scales. Now we need to hit the highlights on stuff. Okay. So again, we're grabbing that color. Got about 30 minutes left on this, so okay. I want this one. No, it has to be above that. Let's move the scales under here. Yeah. Okay, so that'll have to work there. Okay. Oh. Okay. Again, we're going to do the same thing we did with the shadows and just going to carve it back. Get there. I'm just really quickly plopping down some highlights. Kind of haphazardly, again, a little bit faster than, at least for me, it's a little bit faster than trying to actually set it up. I don't know. Of course, I guess I did it right the first time. I wouldn't have to go back and do it. One of those things. I don't like it in the shadow. Like obviously at some point you have to get it right. So I guess if I did it right in the beginning, all that fun stuff, but we are where we are. All right. Actually, all right, so that should be all of those. Now we go through and we fix it. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to keep it out of the shadow where it creates that weird little thing. And again, the farther I get away from the face and such, the less important that is. But at least for me, again, you can treat it however you like. But for me, I'm not overly worried about certain things. The farther it gets away from the main focus of my stuff. Especially like the farther it gets away from the face or the farther it is away from the egg, I'm not super concerned what's going on detail wise. Details are still important, they're just not as noticeable the farther you get away from like the focal point of things. Which is why I kind of push them harder up in the beginning and less so farther down. Will I make videos for my channel? I've been asked to do some tutorial, like how to draw a full body character. I haven't gotten to any of that just yet because, again, I had some computer issues recently, so I had to deal with that, along with like just life in general. I would like to definitely get to some of that at some point, but as of right now I haven't had time, but at some point, yes, I will hopefully get to make some videos. Just a matter of kind of when and stuff that. Yeah, definitely, I agree. One of those things where like live is cool, but if someone can't tune in, they generally aren't going to watch the replay. But yeah, definitely thought about stuff, just haven't gotten to it. And like I said, someone did ask for a tutorial on like drawing a full body figure and whatnot. I just haven't, unfortunately, had the time. Because it does take a little bit more effort to get like a video down, up, and all that, like edit it and stuff. And right now I don't even have the program I would use to edit the video because of the computer issues. I need to re-download and set that up, unfortunately. So that's a whole nother issue I have to deal with. But yeah, I 100% agree with you. That would definitely be a helpful thing to have. I do have like 2 review videos I did for some tablets, but other than that, I don't have any like real video. I had to upload a stream because YouTube had cut it off. So now I record my streams while I'm doing it, just in case that happens again. Stuff like that. I use iMovie. Yeah, I have, or I had, I just have to, again, reinstall it, but I have Adobe Premiere that I use for editing. I'm also part of a video game channel. We haven't uploaded in a very long time, unfortunately, because we've gotten kind of stuck with like real life problems, and the whole situation in the world right now. But yeah, so I started editing for that, and then so that's what I use for editing, and I don't have it currently because of the whole computer crash and burn situation I'm dealing with. I just recently got this program reinstalled and all set up again, so it's a whole thing. But yeah, I need to try and get that at some point. Sure. Sure. You can send me a link to your channel on the Discord, and I will check that out. All right. Toward the end of the actual scale stuff, and then we'll get to the egg scale stuff. All right, so got those. Now we just need to okay. And again, how did we end up that color? That makes no sense. Okay. I don't know. Maybe when I switched over, I don't know. Okay, let's try this one more time. There we go. I thought maybe it was just parts that were going over that, but no. For some reason. Alright. Now we're good. So what's nice about having painted these instead of just using a multiply, the shadow and the highlight are not going to affect the line art on this as it did on scales for the body that I did not want to deal with. There's more. It's kind of annoying to all that junk. All right, so let's see. All right, so over here a little bit. I think that does what I wanted to. I think it works. All right, so now got to deal with the background. I think the cave looks all right. Like the general kind of spacing, I guess. Yeah. So real quick, just make sure. Let's check all the way up here. What is this? Oh, here we go. Okay. Yeah, I got it. So I will check that out once I'm all done with everything and all that. And I will give you feedback. No problem. All right, so we got the sketch for the background. Let's add that's the dragon sketch. Yeah, okay. Got a new layer. Background. Okay, so what I going to want to do this black piece here, you might also want to put some rules in the description at some point so people know they aren't allowed. Things aren't allowed in chat. Yeah, that's a good point, because I have that on other... I thought I had that in there, but I guessed that I don't. So I know I have it in there on other platforms. Apparently I don't have that in there on YouTube. So I'll have to do that. It's a good point. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Yep. Got that. Okay, so that's not gonna help me. And I'm gonna need stupid new and foreground. So this is actually gonna be up above that. This. Okay, already over there. Let's do something on the side as well. I'm gonna bring that across. All right. So yeah, what I'm doing right now is kind of trying to block out my stuff. Let's start editing that. There. I want to be on the foreground again. Okay, so right now it should be going to my editing layer. There we go. Okay. Got that kind of set up. And this is just kind of roughing out my foreground background situation. Okay, there we go. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. That and fill that. And all right. Now we're going to try and get that like so. Get all of that. Okay. Not half bad. This can be out of it. There we go. Now I can see. Put that. Let's grab that color, darken it a smidge, and back to my pen. Okay, we're going to kind of, oops, on the wrong way. Yeah, this one. So one of the things I'm trying to do with all of these arts is kind of use them to point to where I want the focus to be. All right, let's hide that for a second. That's not too bad. Paint bucket. We're getting somewhere with this. Okay. So all of these points are kind of pointing you to the main focus, which is the dragon and the egg here. I might change the trajectory of this a smidge. These are working where they're supposed to. And it kind of gives it an atmospheric thing where it's lighter the farther we go back into this cave. Although I imagine that being kind of the entrance, which is why it's getting lighter instead of darker. That's heading out towards the world. But instead of getting darker, getting lighter. Okay. There. Gonna work for what I'm thinking. So, got a very simple background set up there. Foreground, background. Not half bad. What I will have to do is add some shadows and highlights a little bit to this. Maybe a little bit of texture, I'm not sure. Let's look at marker. And let's go to brushes here. Let's look at pointers. We're on the wrong way. Oops, cancel. Alright, so let's go to the okay, there we go. So that's actually my eraser because I wasn't paying attention. Why that makes it like. Alright, that's not what we're looking for. Really just trying to find something. Give it texture and this working. What is nice, so I use the same program I use to stream. I use OBS Studio. I can do both at the same time with that program. Yeah. So it's really nice program, very helpful. So it's there we go. Okay, let's adjust the parts. There we go. It gives us something. All right. But yeah, I use OBS Studio, which is a really nice program. They're partnered with like Streamlabs and stuff, so they've got a lot of helpful. Okay, so I want to do. I can probably go darker. That's kind of what I'm looking for. It's just some kind of texture. So let's add a new layer. texture layer, and we will just kind of multiply. Yeah. We'll use multiply to kind of set it up. How do you share your screen on the OBS? So let's just hit this real quick. So what I do is have it set up. I have technically 2 monitors because I have a display tablet that I use for the drawing. So I literally just share my whole screen, my second screen, and not my first screen. So all of the programs and everything that I don't want anyone to see are on my first screen, and then my second screen, being my tablet, is where you're getting the whole screen being shown. So if I were to grab like this chat and bring it over, it literally just drags right in. So yeah, that's how I share the screen. It's one of the options I have set up in the thing. Like I have to set up notifications for each individual thing. I set up a chat in embed. I have my overlay, and then I have the camera, and all of that is like all put in to the program. So when you go to scene, that scene section there, and hit the plus button, you should be able to bring in. You'll start a new scene, and then if you hit plus on that sources part there, you should be able to add. You hit plus on that, there should be a display capture option. Click on that, and then you add in your monitor or your second monitor, whichever monitor. Like if you have one monitor, you'll use the one monitor. You can also set it up to capture just a window, a specific program window, but I haven't had a whole lot of success with that. That has always been kind of hit and miss on my end. So I just straight up the whole screen is what you get for mine. And that's the reason why, because of that. Okay, let's drop that opacity down. 50 maybe. No proper. That's interesting. Okay, so real quick. Okay, so see what's happening here is like that's the screen I'm sharing. So now it's making a infinite window essentially. But yeah, if we go to the online, this is the second monitor. So if you hit that, display capture is what I talking about there. And then so for mine, it's my second monitor. So I have 2 monitors technically speaking because of the tablet. So I choose display 2. And that's what I have. So yeah. So that's what I know. I don't know if that helps. That's the best I got for you though. Let's see. So I might check. Like, and I literally just recently had to like kind of relearn everything because I hadn't messed with it in forever, and all of a sudden my computer goes haywire and I have to like reset up all my stuff from scratch. It was a nightmare. But yeah. I don't know. Maybe that helped. Hopefully, I don't know. One above the. Set it to. Look at light. Nope, probably not. Get this and then with the screen. Do soft light, hard light. No. Different. No. Vivid light. Somewhat. Exactly. Linear light. Thin light. Hard mix. Exclusion. Darker. Oh. Better. Nope. Mess around with a few buttons and that works. Well, there you go. Yeah, it's kind of just try it till something works. Honestly, that's the best I got for you. Okay, so just hit that. It's really aggressive. I like it. I want a little bit of texture. I don't want it to be. Something like that, I guess. Yeah, that's honestly the only thing that I did. Just kind of mess around until I found what I was looking for. Watched some videos and whatnot, but yeah, essentially it just comes down to kind of mess with it until you hit what you. Actually, this M. No, that's not good. There we go. And we jump up to this layer. Delete. Haha. Now that's that. Okay. So that's not terrible. Let's see. What? Kind of want to do like a gradient. Menu. Okay. I'm gonna change the color. I don't want to like brand setting. Effect. There we go. Try that, I think. Here. Okay. No, is that not? Hello. It's definitely not what I'm looking for. I hate that. Does not do. Let's do the gradient erase there. I don't know, and then radial. Something like that. Let's look at that. No. That looks nothing cool. Let's do it in white. Oh, wow, nice. Change tech. So weird. Okay. That and on this end, that one, right? That one. I don't know. Let's try this. Why is it not doing anything? Let's look at. Let's try. Okay, that's something. And let's try this. Going to put that. And let's change that from that to screen. Nope. I want it to go the opposite direction. Why is everything so difficult? Try. Okay, so first let's actually grab that color and put it actually inside the thing. Let's see if that makes any difference. Nope. Oh yeah, I gotta go. Okay, let's try real quick. Oops. Okay. Delete. Okay. And the rest of it real quick. Let's just hit. Okay. There we go. Why is there no? Have a radial version of that. Have to. Oh. Almost what we're looking for. Kind of what we're looking for. Anyway, put that like that. We'll do that for right now. All right. All right. Thank you, guys, for popping in and seeing what's up. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I have to go get ready for work and all that fun stuff. Real quick, yeah. So I'd say this is pretty much finished, but Might have to tweak some stuff next time. So pop in, see what's up. After this is all done, I'll probably start another character reference sheet that I've been doing. So yeah, those are fun. I enjoy them. It's fun to get to work on my characters again. So yeah, it was a blast. Thank you for stopping in and chatting with me. It's always more fun for me when I have people chatting and talking with me. So again, thank you so much for stopping in. The Discord is here. Let's see real quick. Slide over. Copy. All right. And so if you want to join the Discord, there you go. There's that. You can follow all that. I post my progress and everything on there. And you can post your works on there as well. The art share is for everyone. You can also, follow me down here, Instagram, Twitter, all that fun stuff. I'm always posting my current progress there from my streams. If you miss it, you can see what I did. Yeah. So thank you everyone for stopping in. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. I can't believe I got shared on the homepage for Discord. That was really cool. Not Discord, DLive. Just a whole nother D thing. Anyway, thank you so much. You guys are awesome, and I really have to go. So see you next time. Mondays and Thursdays, people. I'll be here, same time, same place.